one engine burn designed to bring
Stage
the
one
booster.
landing burn.
There we heard the call out, so we should see it here. There we go. So the first stage has lit one engine to prepare for landing.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
We're targeting a landing on our drone ship, which you there
Landing leg deploy.
see there now. Of course, I still love you.
Stage one landing confirmed.
A beautiful nighttime shot there of a successful landing. That is Falcon 9 touching down for the 260th overall successful recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Second stage in terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing burn.
And there's confirmation of the stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 FTS is saved. MVAC shut down. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it. This landing marks SpaceX's 261st recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance. Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
On the right through with these clouds should be our first view. Once again, there it is. Just like magic, we see landing zone 1. Crowds cheering here at SpaceX Mission Control Hawthorne as we tune in to see if we stick the landing. And if you couldn't tell by the loud cheers, we did
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
We did stick that landing. Falcon 9 has landed once again.
Terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 and terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing bird.
Stage 2, FTS has safed.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
This is amazing. You can see those 4 grid fins deployed. What a view that we have.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And you can see that the landing burn has begun for the vehicle. Let's watch as Falcon 9 touches back down on land.
Stage 2 FTS has safed.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
What a sight to see. Falcon has touched down. This booster just completed its 10th flight.
Confirms stage 1 splashdown.
Continues to look very well during this flight.
Stage 1 landing burn.
All right, there goes the landing burn. In just a few seconds, we'll have a booster on the ground. A look from the ground. We hear the thunder here at
we
Hangar
hear those
80.
double claps.
Landing leg deploy.
Here she comes.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Another pinpoint landing.
Stage 1 landing burn. Terminal guidance. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There is the start of that stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Super cool views of landing zone 2 approaching quick.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 FTS has safed.
Awesome views. There you have it. We have successfully made the 272nd landing of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And there
Stage
you can
2
see on
from
your
terminal
left-hand
guidance.
screen the landing
Stage
burn
2
has
FTS
begun.
has
Let's watch
safety.
as Falcon 9. Let's
Stage
watch
1
as Falcon 9
deploy.
touches down for landing.
Stage
And a
1
great
landing confirmed.
view there.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Second stage in terminal guidance.
landing light deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
In vacuum.
Stage 1 landing burn startup. And the next shutdown.
Nominal park orbit insertion.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
And there
Stage
you
1
have
landing
it.
confirmed.
That landing marks SpaceX's 275th recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 is in terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Approaches the Space Coast to touch back down at Landing Zone 1.
Stage 2 FTS is safed.
And it is great to see that first stage back on Earth.
On the left, you can see a tracking shot of the first stage, and on the right, you can see the onboard cameras looking down towards the ground. Should be starting up that landing burn any second.
Burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Wow, what a view of that landing, folks. As you just saw and probably heard, we did just successfully land the first stage back at Landing Zone 4.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 2's in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
So for landing burn, we're going to expect to see the 13 center engines light, rapidly bring down the booster's velocity, and then just the 3 in the center for splashdown. Let's see if that'll work. We're getting a few engines. And acquisition of signal. Let's see if we can get some other video of that. Now, this is a test objective today. It is still something that we're attempting to learn. And to make it that far, to demonstrate the controlled re-entry up to that point is pretty darn good.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
There's the start of
Stage 1 landing burn.
Start of that landing burn. Really cool view of Cape Canaveral coast.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Wow, wonderful views of that first stage landing.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Back at landing zone 1, looking pristine there, and there you have it. That landing marks SpaceX's 286th recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
MVAC shutdown. Stage 1 landing burn.
And then we heard 2 callouts for MVAC shutdown and landing burn start on our Falcon 9 first stage.
Nominal parking orbit.
Landing leg deploy.
And there we had amazing views of our Falcon 9 first stage.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
As it landed on our drone ship, just read the instructions in the Atlantic Ocean.
Stage 2's in terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 is in terminal guidance. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 FTSO saved.
And there is the startup of the single center Merlin engine for landing burn. We'll see the the landing legs deploy here.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
And there is successful landing of our first stage. That marks for the 14th landing on this particular booster, 294th landing of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
You just heard that call out. Stage 1 is now traveling slower than the speed of sound as it heads towards land. We can see the California coast just below there on the left side of your screen, heading back towards landing zone 4.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There you go. Wow, great tracking shot of that landing burn. You can see that center E9 engine has now lit. We are slowing the vehicle down very rapidly. Should be seeing those landing legs deploy any second now.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 FDS has safed.
Right now, we're standing by for landing of Falcon back on landing zone 4 at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Confirmation there of the 20th launch and landing for this first stage.
Terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
You see the drag fins, the drag brakes that have just deployed. Those cut the speed of the booster in half. Also at the top of the rocket there, you see the forward fins. They kind of look like pie slices, one on each quadrant. That helps keep the vehicle stable. And there we go, BE-3 engine relight. Landing gear deployed.
50 feet, 8 feet per second. Touchdown. Auto 7 started.
And touchdown. Welcome home, New Shepard. What a beautiful flight to space and back for that booster.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
An awesome
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
An awesome view of our Stage 1 that is now landed back on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2, terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2, terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2, terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Landing burn startup on the Falcon 9 first stage in just a few moments.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
And there you have it. Falcon 9 has
Stage
successfully
1 landing confirmed.
Falcon 9 has successfully.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Good callouts there. Falcon 9 has successfully landed at landing zone 4 at Vandenberg.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 is in terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And we will be igniting 13 engines, and this is a great view. On your left-hand side is three views from the booster, and your right-hand side a view from the ship. And you can see those grid fins on your left-hand screen rotating and turning to guide the booster, and there's that landing burn. That landing burn just begun, and you can see the water below. Splashdown! What an incredible sight!
Starship is at 2 kilometers altitude, terminal velocity.
Landing burn startup for Starship.
All right, good news there.
Nominal chamber pressure.
Landing burn startup.
Starship is in landing burn.
Landing burn Shepard.
The landing burn shutdown was commanded.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Landing leg deployed. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Our cameraman. Now you know what it feels like.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
View of the targeted landing area. So if you look closely, you might be able to see our drone ship come into view.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There we can see the drone ship in picture. Landing burn initiated.
And back shutdown.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
An incredible view from 2 different angles. As you can see, Falcon 9 has landed once again.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 2 FTS has safed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
We will
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
We will get some loud shaking right here in the Mission Director Center. I know a lot of people right here in Brevard will be excited when they hear the sonic booms.
EYNY landing burn.
Landing burns has started up.
Terminal guidance.
Wow, look at that. As it guides its way back down. Woo! Just heard the 2 sonic booms here in the room.
EYNY landing leg deploy.
Our monitors shaking as we watch
amazing.
These 2
that
boosters
is just
land.
Awesome to see the 2 side boosters choreograph their way down to landing zone 1 and 2.
EYNY landing confirmed.
We have successful landing of the 2 side boosters. Everybody looks great on the landing zone 1 and 2.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And there you heard and saw startup of the landing burn on the Falcon 9 first stage. As a reminder,
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
As a reminder, this booster is set to land on the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship currently stationed in the Pacific Ocean.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you heard and saw a successful call out of the Falcon 9 booster landing on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. This was the 8th launch and landing for this first stage.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
MVAC shutdown. Nominal orbit insertion.
And good calls there for MVAC shutdown and nominal orbital insertion of our second stage.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there's that call out for our stage 1 landing.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deployed. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deployed. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And we did have a good call out there for vehicles following nominal
Stage 1
trajectories.
transonic.
Amazing view of the Falcon 9 booster as it makes its way back to landing zone 1 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
A spectacular touchdown of our Falcon 9 booster at landing zone 1 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. Now,
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
which is currently stationed in the Pacific Ocean.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There's confirmation that landing burn has begun, and we are expecting this burn to last for about 20 seconds in total.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
That was a beautiful touchdown of our Falcon 9 rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Then we'll shut
Stage
down
1
our MVAC
transonic.
engine on the second stage.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Incredible views of that landing burn for the Falcon 9 booster on your screen right now. And there was that sonic boom.
Stage 2 FTS. Stage 1 landing light deploy.
That was the 16th launch and landing for this first stage. You just heard that confirmation from Mission Control.
Stage 1 landing burn. Landing like deployed.
And that marks the 12th landing for this booster.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing light deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing light deploy.
So we see the drag brakes have been deployed.
There's the relight of that BE3 engine. That gorgeous hover above the landing pad. And booster touchdown, a successful touchdown of the booster for the NS-26 mission. Always a sight to see.
Always a sight to see.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing light deploy.
Stage 2 FTS.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing light deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Touch down softly on the surface of our drone ship.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Confirmation of landing burn startup. Can see those grid fins working as we target the drone ship here.
Deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And confirmation of touchdown. This again was the 20th launch and landing for this first stage.
Shut down. And the landing burn on the first stage should be starting up here momentarily. And there it is. Landing burn has begun for...
Dragon SpaceX, nominal orbit insertion.
Dragon SpaceX, launch escape system disarmed.
Copy that, SpaceX, and we show the same.
And a lot of events happening right there, but you can see that the Stage 1 vehicle has touched down. Just read the instructions. A very excited crowd there.
We have a landing burn coming up in about 30 seconds from now.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Great call for landing burn.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And that was the 13th launch and landing for this first stage.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn.
Confirmation of landing burn startup.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And confirmation of first stage landing. This was the 22nd launch and landing for this first stage.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 is in terminal guidance. Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Nominal trajectories there from mission control.
Freedom copies, nominal trajectory.
That entry burn is, of course, followed by the landing burn. during which time we'll light three of the Merlin engines on board the first stage. And we expect to see that landing burn just about a minute before we expect Dragon to be inserted into orbit. So we have two very exciting phases of flight, both for our first stage and our Crew 9 astronauts happening here at the same time.
Stage 2, FTS has based.
So a great touchdown of stage 1 there just a second ago.
It's going to happen in 3 phases. We're going to land 13 engines, burn off all of that velocity. Oh, we can see it coming down through the plume.
Booster coming in hot for booster catch.
We're going to ignite 13 of those Raptor engines, and this view is incredible right now. You can see how fast this vehicle is moving on the left-hand screen.
Landing burn has been ignited. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in view.
Landing burn shutdown.
Megadilla has caught the booster.
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at the launch tower.
What an incredible view!
Are you kidding me?
Starship is on target, approaching landing burn startup.
So keep an eye on the bottom right-hand side of your screen as well. That will be the indicator when the Raptor engines ignite, if we are unable to see that illumination ourselves.
Landing burn startup.
Beautiful view of the reflection of that landing burn.
You can see the water just behind the ship.
Starship has landed.
An incredible view. I think it is safe to say we have a ship in the water.
Touchdown!
That is a live view from the ocean surface. What an incredible end to Starship's journey. A live view from a buoy that we had out at the landing zone.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Landing burn should be coming up shortly.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And there we have the landing burn where engine 9 has relit right before touching down on the landings at landing zone 4.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it. That landing marks SpaceX's 357th recovery of an orbital class rocket.
And that speed of that booster is dropping rapidly, as expected. There's the sonic boom that we hear on descent.
And there we have engine relight.
The landing legs are deploying.
That new Shepard hover.
And touchdown. Welcome home, New Shepard.
New Shepard's landing of the booster continues to be one of our just proudest moments here at Blue Origin.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
As we're getting closer and closer to Earth on the first stage.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn.
We have that call out. Landing burn has begun. Let's watch as Falcon 9 touches down on, of course, I Still Love You.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And great views there. Falcon 9 has touched down on, of course, I Still Love You.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 2 FTS is...
Stage 1 landing burn.
There is the start of the Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing is confirmed.
What a beautiful view
Stage
of
2
that
terminal guidance.
first stage landing.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing is confirmed.
All great stage 1 callouts right there.
Stage 2 FTS has safed.
An awesome view of landing burn.
Landing burn.
We are now waiting for Falcon 9 to land back on land at landing zone 1.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
And there you have it. That landing marks SpaceX's 364th recovery of an orbital class rocket, including first stage landings for Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Nominal park orbit insertion.
And you can see Falcon 9 performing its landing burn as we also had a good call for Stage 2 entering its parking orbit.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it, SpaceX's 369th landing and recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Which is currently in the Atlantic Ocean.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There we go.
Shutdown.
We just heard the landing burn has started on the first stage, and the second engine has now shut down. You can see the drone ship just below the first stage there as we come in for a landing.
Nominal orbital insertion. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it. That landing marks SpaceX's 371st recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Yeah, once again, we are attempting an offshore landing of the Super Heavy booster. So we have seen this before, and it is still very fun to watch, watching it come down for a soft splashdown off the Gulf Coast of Texas. We can see it there re-entering. We saw earlier those grid fins. There are 4 hypersonic grid fins. Oh, we can see that the landing burn has begun on the Super Heavy booster.
And same pattern, 13 engines will light, gone down to 3 just as we expected. And what an incredible view of splashdown that we got today of Super Heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure the buoy cam views will be pretty awesome once again.
Obligatory shout out to the entire avionics team on Starship.
And there's that nose down orientation.
Now the Raptor engines will relight and help flip the booster back up. This is a more severe flip given the orientation. The engines will shut down prior to the water making impact, prior to the vehicle making impact with the water.
Our ship is doing great so far. There's those engines relighting.
What a great reorientation by Starship.
Wow.
All 3 down to 2 into the water.
Starship is landed.
Wow. And we have ship splashed down in the Indian Ocean.
Some awesome buoy cam action here. Daylight views.
Incredible.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Standing by for that BE-3 engine relight. Just a gorgeous view. There's the BE-3 engine relight. The landing legs deployed. The West Texas dust in the air.
And touchdown. What an incredible sight to see. Let's let this dust clear and we'll see.
There it is. The new Shepard booster standing tall on the landing pad.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2, terminal deck guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
Stage 1
Of
landing leg
course, I
deploy.
still love you. Coming into clearer view.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And as always, a beautiful view of the rocket as it has landed on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Position the vehicle and guide it towards the ship. And
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
There we go. We just heard the landing burn has started on the first stage. And as you can see, we're just passing through the clouds now, and there's the drone ship waiting in the ocean below.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you have it. That landing marks SpaceX's 380th successful recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 2 terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
The vehicle in order to allow for a soft
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
in order to allow for a soft touchdown on the drone ship.
And back shutdown.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Great view of our drone ship, a short
Nominal
fall
park orbit insertion.
And there you saw and heard
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
and saw the successful landing of our Falcon 9 rocket.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
And there we go. The landing burn has begun. We're now just waiting for Falcon 9 to land on, of course, I Still Love You in the Pacific Ocean, which you can now see there on your screen.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there we go. With that confirmation, that marks a successful landing of another Falcon 9 rocket.
We've got MVAC engine shutdown.
Nominal parking orbit.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And both callouts right on time. Guidance reports a nominal parking orbit for the second stage. The first stage has begun the landing burn. Headed to the drone ship on the power of the center engine E9.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
All right, and we have touchdown of formerly new booster on the drone ship out in the Atlantic.
And that Falcon 9 is transonic.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
You'll notice that
Stage 1 landing burn.
confirmation of our landing burn.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Landing leg deployed.
Impact shutdown.
We did get great views of those landing
Stage
legs.
1 landing confirmed.
And have confirmation of Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 1 landing burn. Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
MVAC shutdown.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And with Stage 2 shutting down its MVAC engine, Stage 1 is performing its landing burn, heading toward a shortfall of gravitas.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Landing leg deployed. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there is our first stage booster standing tall on a shortfall of gravitas, completing its 7th launch and recovery.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.